Hello everyone, this is Crota. Whoop, I hate it when I do that. Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between WhiteRa versus TSL's Hyuen here on Shakura's Plateau. First thing that you'll notice, I had to go back to an older version of my encoding process. Currently, for some reason, my new encoding process and my new recording method isn't working right now. So just going back to the old way, that's one of the reasons why I can actually move this around real time. Ooh, look at that, look at that. Alright, not that that's anything too fancy. Alright, WhiteRa spawning as the red Protoss player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Here, meanwhile, TSL's Hyuen spawning as the blue Zerg over here on the top right-hand side. This is going to be a Zerg versus Protoss. And right now, we're already seeing a fast expansion coming in from WhiteRa. And we'll see whether or not the special tactics of WhiteRa will be coming through. Now, WhiteRa, known as one of those low APM players. Right now, however, he is getting the higher APM advantage. But then again, there's not much really to do. Zerg versus Protoss already underway, and right now I'm simply counting down the days for MLG Anaheim. So that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I can head over there. Hopefully I'll be able to meet some of you guys as this game now getting underway. I'm also looking for a lot more higher level replays right now. So far, replays have been very difficult to come by. A lot of the replay sources are drying up. I think it's because a lot of players are also playing Diablo 3, so that does make it a little bit more difficult, or perhaps players just are preparing for one of the larger events that are coming in, and the open bracket of MLG Anaheim, that is going to be so difficult to play through. You can't script that. You can't really say who's going to come out ahead, just because anything can happen in that 256 players. So far, WhiteRa will be coming in with the probe. It is going to be denying this drone from being able to build a hatchery for a little while. You can see the probe simply dancing around in a circle, warping in a pylon now. And where is he going to go? He's simply just dancing around back and forth. And one thing to note, there is actually no supply depot here, so it would have been actually possible to set up a pylon wall in and then make it much more difficult for the Zerg to actually break out. Now, we can see that the Nexus is working in as well. Hopefully the game sounds are pretty well balanced. My voice should be louder than it, and hopefully the warping in of a pylon's not that loud. Anyways, pylon queens now being trained. It looks as though the first queen will be out in just a moment. The Zerglings coming over to clean up this pylon here. 4 Zerglings, pretty standard play. If you want to be economic, I guess you could try to go for 2 Zerglings, but then again, you fall a little bit behind as we now see the hatchery coming into play there. Overlord is a scouting position, and this is going to be huge. The fact that the Overlord is flying overhead, Photon Cannon is already up, a second gateway may need to be done. As we can see, WhiteRa already setting up a new probe here at the 3 o'clock position or the 4 o'clock position to perhaps prevent a third base. The Overlord is going to be able to sit on top of WhiteRa's base for a little while longer, pretty much getting all the scouting information he needs. And we are not going to see any true engagements anytime soon, as this one probe now tries to run away. It looks as though Hyuen is going to have a very strong economic game, as he is already placing down his third hatchery in response for WhiteRa's natural expansion. So, economic game already underway. Cybernex Core could be coming in here momentarily. Oh, not getting a wall in. So, the Cybernex Core is up. I believe the Overlord does spot this, and he knows that there is actually a little bit of an opening. Zerglings and Roaches will be able to get through there pretty easily. And the fact that WhiteRa only has 1 photon cannon here concerns me a little bit. We are going into the probe now, trying to do a quick scout. It will scout out this hatchery here. WhiteRa needs to know what he's going up against, pretty much sacrificing 50 minerals in order to scout out this location and now still wander around. Queen sitting at the top of the ramp. Where is this probe going to go? Not 100% sure. You can see Zerglings sitting down over here. And this probe could perhaps be trying to go into a little bit of a strange play, as we are also going into Protoss air weapons upgrade. This is not something I normally see at all. And I'm really curious as to whether or not WhiteRa realizes he's going for the air weapon upgrades, or if he really wanted to go for perhaps the gateway tech. That is a huge mistake there. The E and the G on the keyboard not that close together, as we are now going into a roach roaring. Now, unless WhiteRa goes for a Stargate with Void Rays or perhaps even Phoenixes, this is going to be a terrible, terrible mistake. WhiteRa doesn't even have one Stargate at this point, so nope, he is going to be going into double Stargate, and he is hiding this over here. This is going to be huge. The fact that he allowed his opponent to spot him researching on that cybernetics core, it really made it look like that he was trying to go for warp gate tech. And he's completely foregoing warp gate tech, instead going for level 1 weapons upgrade. And will these Stargates with those Void Rays actually be able to deal some true damage? Taking a look at the energy on the Nexuses, or the Nexus, there is 30 energy here, about 50 energy here. Should be enough for 3 Chrono Boosts. That means that a Void Ray will be able to head out there. Perhaps we can get 4 Void Rays and then follow it up with Phoenix play, as we are now going into the Protoss air weapons upgrade and now going for a fast fleet beacon. Alright, so WhiteRa really trying to change things up a little bit here. And with the fast fleet beacon, I guess he could try to go for a fast mothership or for fast carriers. I really don't know what WhiteRa is really trying to go for. Level 1 weapons upgrade. Perhaps he's trying to get level 2 weapons upgrade very quickly. And level 2 weapons upgrade on carriers would be very dangerous at this stage, or even just level 2 weapons upgrade on Void Rays. But no, it is going to be followed up with that standard warp gate tech, and WhiteRa may be going for fast carriers as he hasn't trained anything just quite yet. There's one carrier, there is another. We are going into the graviton catapults. Carriers take a while to build, 120 seconds. And is it going to get scouted out? There is this Overseer. The Overseer has no idea what's really going on at all inside this base. The Stalkers need to make sure that this stays as a surprise. If there are 4 carriers on the field with level 1 weapons upgrade, that means that those interceptors are doing 12 damage a second. Times that by 8, that is 96 damage in a second per carrier. And if it really works out, then it would. If this surprise tactic really does work out, then it will be good. Hyuen now trying to fly around here. We are seeing another Overseer coming in, and the Overseer is going to spot the fleet beacon. Is it going to spot the float? Yes, it is going to spot the carriers as it's trying to be made. The Overseer now down to 36 hit points, and it is going to be able to escape, and this is huge. We are now going into mass spore crawlers here. 3 spore crawlers, 1 at each base. The roaches now know what is up. But are the carriers going to be able to do enough, as we are now going into another round of Chrono Boost? Still plenty of energy to go. And now in comes the carriers. The carriers could attack move. There you go, quickly taking down that 1 unit there. Carriers already are about what the front door is pretty much walled in completely. The roaches are now going to try to do an exchange here. Where are those carriers going to go? The carriers are going to try to engage, but this could be just a little bit too late, as the one Zealot tries to fend off all of these units. The carriers are now trying to come back over here. The Stargate is now going into a Void Ray play. Another carrier now trying to be added. 1 pylon could have been sniped down to try to depower all of that, as the roaches are now making their way in. Carriers now trying to re-engage. This is not looking good. WhiteRa, where is he going to run with all of these units? Stargate, or Gateways now upgrading into warp gate tech. 1 carrier Void Rays need to be added in here, but WhiteRa with this special tactics, perhaps a little bit too special. Not going to work out. The Probes simply mineral pathing their way through, and now I'm going to be trying to go after some of these units here. The Probes are trying to get away. The Void Rays, and now we can see the carriers trying to push in, but there are simply too many queens with transfusions, and these carriers are not really dealing the necessary damage in order to come out on top of this fight. A little bit of a Q's play, but Q's play not going to be enough. A Void Ray needs to be going after, needs to be going after these roaches here, but there's the GG. There's the well played, as Hyuen quickly scouts out what exactly WhiteRa was doing. He found a perfect opportunity to attack and engaged right when he needed to. So yeah, really well played by Hyuen there, responding and reacting. A lot of the times Zerg players are like, you know what, you're giving me a license to drone, I'm just gonna take advantage of that, and then they end up finding themselves very far behind. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 in this series between WhiteRa and Hyuen.